haven't felt much like complaining in the last several years, so I haven't been, but took a look at or signed back in to the channel and realized right at the end of the year that the channel is 10 years old this year. And a lot of people, I guess, seem to resonate with the video where I just complain about people and not like, or me not liking people and stuff. So, if that video helps people, which it seems like it does, or, hearing other people say exactly what's on their mind, yeah, I'm glad if that helps people. But yeah, the reason I haven't done anything for what is it, years at this point, is just because I get sick of complaining. And I did do a post on the community section of this channel, and I put it out there. If there's anything anyone wants me to talk about, or any topic ideas, or anything, feel free to let me know. Someone responded with my thoughts, I guess, on my thoughts for, I don't know if it's like a prediction or just thoughts just heading into 2025. So I thought, well, I guess I got some thoughts about 2025. What's really scary is back in 2020, I don't know if it happened before that year, but I think that year for sure is when a lot of us got wind of the one individual saying the famous line, the by 2030 you will own nothing and be happy. And I remember thinking, it was scary. And I remember thinking, well, at least it's 10 years away. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. So, and it'll be only 5 years away, and when we get into 2025, and it's just like, that's very depressing. And at first in 2020, I was like, how the hell are they going to achieve that? But now halfway into it, with inflation and the cost of everything going up, I'm starting to understand how they're going to do it. And I think, unfortunately, I know this is supposed to be thoughts about 2025, but if I can briefly talk about 2030, I think, unfortunately, we can, oh man, it's so depressing, almost kind of count on that happening and just try to enjoy life as much as I can in the moment. This is why I haven't been doing any recordings, just because it's just so depressing to think about. But to make a long recording not as long, I can simply say that there's no reason, in my opinion, to expect anything to change for the better in 2025. I don't think politics are real. I think the people that are in the White House are basically just actors. So if all goes well or unwell or as planned or whatever you want to call it, we can expect a certain orange individual to head back into that house that is white. And I would expect, more. When he was in there before, we had some inflation, and I think it's not an accident that they put Mr. Bankruptcy in there to basically bankrupt or start the process to basically bankrupt the country and everyone, or the majority of people living in it. I think we can just expect round two of Mr. Inflation. Unfortunately, we think things are bad now, and it's just like, well, I think with that guy in there again, not that, like I say, I don't think these people, the actual presidents or the people in the White House do anything, but it's kind of like, the system can blame things on the people. Instead of blaming the system, they can blame this one person. So it's more like the figurehead for the destruction of the country, kind of a situation. So that's some of my main thoughts heading into like Mr. Orange Guy term number two. Is there's no reason to expect anything necessarily. Well, I guess if he actually, if they actually have him quote unquote do positive things regarding certain, I don't even want to say it out loud, but certain things regarding, I don't even want to say it out loud, rainbow people, I guess we can say, but of course that'll just help to solidify more divide, and blah blah blah. The orange guy supposedly has an anti stance on all that, which I agree with. But the question, politicians aren't known for being necessarily honest. So the question is, will they have that orange actor follow through with things he, I guess, said he'd do or whatever? But I guess my biggest so that would be my concern about heading into 2025 and the second term of Mr. Orange Man. But I guess my biggest concern about heading into 2025 is this. If you want to look at the screen, if you're not already, go check out the screen. And this is something I've been aware of for I think the past 2 or 3, maybe 2 years. And this is kind of concerning. It's the good old JHU, which of course said other things about leading up to 2020, among other institutions. In 2019, there were talk about something that foreshadowing about something that would end up happening, of course, in 2020, which came to light. So this is my biggest concern heading into 2025. Like, is this all laid out, and is this what we can expect to deal with 2025, 26, 27, 28? I sure as fuck hope not. But yeah, I guess that is basically my, in a nutshell, thoughts on 2025 as we head into it. I wouldn't expect anything to necessarily change for the better, like kind of like how it's been going for the last, I don't know, I guess since 2020 or whatever. I mean, it's, things have been going to shit before 2020, but it just kind of accelerated in 2020, and it kind of had a lull there for a bit. When all the the stuff died down, we could kind of more or less return to normal. But things, of course, didn't return 100% to normal, and I just worry about, like I say, my biggest concern is this thing on the screen, and can we expect that, and how many people are going to fall for it again if they do try that? So it's very depressing. I'm very kind of concerning heading into 2025 to see if this is going to happen, but I sure as shit hope it doesn't. It'd be nice to be here a year later and say, it didn't happen, or at least in 2025, but we shall see. I guess that's my short list, or what I can think of to talk about for my thoughts heading into 2025. Unfortunately, I wish I could be all rosy and happy and things, but those are my thoughts. I guess expect possibly an uptick in even more inflation, the cost of things continuing to rise with Mr. Orange, Mr. Bankruptcy back in there. Not, as I say, not that I think he does anything, but like I say, he's a figurehead, or someone they can point to, the pawn, as he's the reason for everything going to shit. They can point a finger at one person instead of blaming the entire system. So there's that, and of course the lovely information you can see on the screen. I really hope that doesn't happen, but I guess time will tell. So I appreciate people stopping on by to watch and listen. I guess if anyone has any topic ideas for anything, recordings / videos that you'd like me to cover, feel free to let me know, and I may or may not do it. So thank you very much, and I guess we'll catch you on the next one if there's a next one.